Well, Kavitha, thank you so much for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm from India and I'm a business success strategist. I help women entrepreneurs in setting up a five-figure online business, turning their passion into digital products.
That sounds awesome. Could you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yes, like a lot of ladies, they do have some kind of skill or expertise or knowledge or even side hustle. And especially now, like when the pandemic has hit, they don't know how to productize it or how to monetize it or how to use it for the betterment of other people. Like there are a lot of people out there like who are ready to learn some skill or something like which these people know. So I help them set up online business systems where like which will help them in earning consistently. Plus, there is a mission associated with this, like where these ladies will be supporting women from developing countries in, you know, becoming financially stable. So it's like creating a movement for a better world.
That sounds like an amazing project. Um,
Yes.
so can you talk about some of the types of businesses these women are creating online?
Yes, it could be teaching cookery classes or baking session, or it could be teaching, about website creation or taking care of their the refrigerator arrangement. It could be even something complicated like funnel designing or funnel hacking or uh, copywriting or teaching a language which they know. So it can be as simple as fridge arrangement to complicated one like funnel designing or an app creation.
That's really amazing. Do you have some success stories that you're particularly excited about that you'd like to talk about?
Yes, like there is this client of mine like who is um, he teaches other people in coming up with their own books. uh, like he trains them in coming up with their own publishing. So he teaches them how they can do it in 30 days or 35 days. And then there is this student who is a productivity coach. She is actually working and she is doing it as a part time where like she helps other people in becoming more productive by implementing small action plans every single day.
That sometimes you just need somebody to sit you down and say, make a plan. And then
Yes,
basically to come every day and say, are you following the plan? You know,
yeah,
and that I know I need that from time to time.
because when it comes to implementation of something, that is where like most people back out. And if there is somebody to be make you accountable there, then that makes a big change.
Exactly. It's so easy to get started. It's hard to get through that middle part. Everybody
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
dreams of the success, but the journey to get there is not easy. It's a big mountain to climb.
Yes.
So, and sometimes we need the encouragement to get over that mountain.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm interviewing a person a day till the end of 2024, and I'm interested in interviewing everyday people, people who have nothing to do with the space program or who don't have an interest in space, to kind of think about well, to find out how they think about sort of the future of humanity and where we are right now, and just trying to understand that. So if any of your clients or the people that you're working with would be willing to have an interview, and maybe it's a chance to um, kind of practice the interview process and speaking to somebody else, and then a chance to talk about their project too. So
Sure, sure. I'm sure like a lot of people might be interested. I'll have a word with them.
that would be amazing. Yeah, because I'm have 1,390, sorry, 89 days to go. So
Wow.
I have to make a lot of friends in that time.
Okay, sure.
So I guess first off, did you know that NASA was planning to send people to the moon again in 2024?
2024. Yes, like it's a project, something called Artemis, right?
Yes. I was watching that Indian Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show. I can't get the Indian name correct, but um,
कौन बनेगा करोड़पति?
yes, and that was one of the winning questions about 2 months ago.
Okay.
What's the name of NASA's project to get people back to the moon? And the answer was Artemis. So unfortunately, I hadn't talked to her before the show, so she didn't know the answer to the question. But
Okay.
yeah. Well, what do you think about it?
See, from a common person's perception, like that's quite interesting, and like we are going to go to a place like where we haven't been. I mean, like keeping aside the astronauts, like from the common people have never been there. Like we have only read about it or watched it in films. So it will be quite interesting and exciting at the same time, going to an unknown land, and how what are we going to do there? Like how will we can we survive there? Like all such interesting things.
Yeah, it will be very difficult. I mean, the moon has no atmosphere. In the daytime, the temperature of the surface is like 200 degrees Celsius, and at nighttime is like negative 100 degrees Celsius. And it has 28 days. It takes 28 days to go through a entire day night cycle. So it's definitely not a place where people would want to go, unless you had some type of artificial environment to live in.
Yeah,
But the view
but
of
then
Earth,
like yeah, I don't think like we can go and settle down there permanently, but maybe like yeah, going there, visiting and seeing that place and coming back will mm, might interest a lot of people.
now the last time we went to the moon was 1972. Um, what do you think about that? Does that seem like a really long time ago, or um,
Yes, 1972 means like even I was not born.
yeah, neither was I.
So like we should do probably scientists might be doing more studies on the moon and its uh, what do you say, the geography and the um, viability of humans going there and etc. um, but for us, like it's always moon is uh, cool, calm, quiet, but at the same time very powerful. And we, especially we Indians, we call moon Chanda Mama. So it's an uncle, a relative.
That's neat.
Um, other than that, like I don't know because I'm not I have not gone to detail about the studies what NASA is doing in this regard. But yes, like I'm fascinated to know more about like what how it would look like if I go there. And especially like we people are used to seeing all this greenery and the colorful things, the climate change, people, and a lot of other things on the earth. So how will such a person feel when we go to a land which I've only seen in the films released by NASA, a barren land? How will it look like? What will we feel? I don't know. I cannot explain unless and until I really go there and experience that.
Now, you said that in India, some people call the moon Chandra Mama or Moon Uncle. Um, and I've talked to some people, like I talked to a person that follows the Jain religion, and um, she was telling me that from her beliefs, it should be impossible for people to go to the moon, because the moon is supposed to be like a sacred place. I was wondering, do you think having people go to the moon would um, excite most people? Are there some people that would be thinking that that's not a good thing for us to do because the moon should be um, left alone? I mean, what's your thought?
I'm not aware of this religious belief, but as far as my belief goes and my knowledge goes, uh, moon is always a very even in the stories, religious stories, moon is always related to as a very calm and friendly uh, person. And nowhere I have read even a single line stating that like moon does harm to us. In the sense like, see, when the sun gets angry, people can get burnt. But moon is not like that. So moon is always picturized as a very friendly character. Well, see, as far as going to the moon is concerned, I think like once in a while going there, visiting and coming back is okay. Um, it surely would excite a lot of people because it's an unknown land for us. But see, like the most of the places on earth where like human beings go and spoil um, the naturality, or they bring too much of developments over there and change the the peaceful coexistence of whatever you call, or the peaceful environment of that place because of human intervention. If if such a thing is going to happen, then I, as a person, will not support this mission, because at least let moon be there as it is. Let us not go and disturb.
But I've heard this before. And the interesting part is, none of us live in the forest, or none of us live in like the wilderness. Like you and I both live in like places where we've, cut down all the plants, and
Trees, yes, plans.
we'll level the field, and we build a structure, and we live in that structure, and we prefer this over living out in the forest. um, but on the same token, we're talking about trying to, so on one hand, we're definitely valuing the human-made environment more than the natural environment. But on the other hand, we talk about trying to preserve the natural environment as if it was special. it seems to me that these are almost in conflict with each other. And it's like that, what we sometimes say, do as I say, not as I do type of thing. Uh, and I was wondering if maybe you could talk a little bit about that. I have no interest in living in the forest, without a house. And I presume the same's true of you. Why do
True,
we
true.
why do we value keeping certain nature the same, untouched, but the same token we value more the environments we've created?
Well, that's a great question, Nathan. The thing is, like, development is good, but to a certain extent. That is what, like, I personally believe. Too much of too much of changes in the name of development has created an imbalance, and probably that could be one of the reasons, like what we are seeing, what's happening across the globe now. So especially this particular situation, what we are all going through now has made me think a lot, like why it has happened. um, Probably like we have forgotten that they the earth and all the living beings in it has got equal right, like how we human beings have. So because of human intervention, like we have gone to their territory and uh, you know taken up their territory, and we have created a total imbalance in the uh, biological environment, which should not happen for whatever it is, even if it is for industrialization or the development. Like I think that there has to be some kind of restriction, some kind of limit in that.
Yeah, I mean, here in the US, we have places that are kind of set aside for natural parks and forest and untouched areas. And I'm wondering if that provides sort of like a good way to maintain that balance as humanity expands beyond the Earth. Like maybe big portions of the moon are kind of reserved as being untouched, while other parts are allowed to be developed. And that way we kind of are able to have um, kind of both things happen side by side. And I wonder if that strategy is something that makes sense to you, or even with that strategy, if you see some problems.
That strategy is good, but I don't know about countries like US and all, but what I've seen in countries like India is, especially in India, see, though we have set aside certain national parks or forest areas where like human beings are not going there, but even in the name of tourism or whatever, we human beings go there and really spoil the environment. We pollute the area, we throw all the waste, we misbehave with the living beings in that particular area. So a lot of unwanted, unwarranted things are happening, which actually uh, is a disturbance to that particular habitat. So that should not happen. If that is guaranteed, then it's okay.
Um, would you say that places where there's life and living things should be treated differently than places where there are no living things? Like, is there a distinction between the two?
Could be because I don't know, like, what is the reason behind the universal forces for creating areas like such distinction, um, or maybe like it happened accidentally. I'm not sure about it. But I like to believe that there has to be uh, some reason which is beyond our human understanding why such places are there. I'm not sure whether it has got a role in the uh, universal, what should I say, the daily, the existence.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like in the desert where there's like, well, even in the desert, there's living things that are able to kind of still exist. It's challenging. Yeah, the life may not be as obvious, but it's still there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um, well, if you could, would you take a trip to space?
If if I can, I would like to go and see how it looks.
And how far would you go? Would you go on a suborbital trip where it's like 15 minutes and you just go above the atmosphere and come back down? Or would you go into orbit around the Earth and spend a few days or a week and get a float around in free fall and look at the Earth? Or would you go further, like say to the moon and back, or maybe even several years to Mars and back? Like how how far would you
Mm,
venture?
yeah, not for several years, but yes, like I would like to go around the Earth. I would see like how Earth looks from the space and even land on the moon.
Then I hope we all get that chance at some point. It seems like,
Yes.
but um, well, that is pretty much all the questions I had. But if there's something you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to, we could do that.
Um, no, I think that is it. Hmm. Yeah, pretty much done.
Well, Kavitha, thank you so much for your time and kind of sharing with me how you see the world and what's important to you.
Thank you, Nathan, for this opportunity to at least, you know, visualize going to the moon.
And I look forward to seeing all the successful businesses that you help to create. It's going to be amazing. And it's not just the people you help, but with each success, there's hundreds of people who you never even
Yes,
come to contact with who see that and say, if they could do it, I can do it too. So
yes,
the impact you're having might be a lot bigger than you can imagine.
yeah. So I'm hopeful like I can contribute my little part in making the world a better place. And of course, I cannot do it alone with the help of a lot of other like-minded people.
Absolutely. Well, Kavita, you have a good rest of your day, and I look forward to staying in touch.
Yeah, sure. Thank you again.
Okay,
Have a good day.
bye
Bye.
bye.